Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna get started. If anybody comes in, I guess I'll just, we'll see what happens. But hello, everyone out there on Instagram and wherever else this video may be shared. I'm fine with you guys sharing the video, by the way. So I am Kaylani Black. I am an author who writes BDSM erotic romance, and my recent books have contained characters that are blind. And the reason I have done this is because I want people in general to know that disability does not affect who you are as a person and what you can do. I have been blind since birth, and I have accomplished some pretty amazing things, but I don't want to be considered amazing because I can wake up every day and leave my apartment and go and do laundry at a laundromat. I want to be considered amazing because I was in marching band for 6 years and I got to participate in the Ohio State School for the Blind marching band. I want to be considered, amazing because I marched 5.5 miles and I played snare drum the whole time. I want to be considered amazing because I have published 6 books and I am now 24. But even with that, anyone can do it. But I don't want to be considered amazing because I'm blind and I'm doing these things. So, any questions before I continue on? Let's check the comments here. Thank you. So, I guess we could start with my process, why I write erotica, why do I write BDSM erotic romance. So I started writing at a young age. From the age of 12, I started writing songs. At the age of 13, I wrote my first story about a pregnant girl, a teenage pregnancy. And I continued on with that story for a little bit, but then I kind of gave up on that. And then I wrote a story that it's no longer in the works for now, but it's a fiction story about a girl who's in marching band, and she is the section leader of a percussion section who does not listen to her. Now, that story is based off of real life events. I was actually dealing with some of the same issues that the girl was dealing with in my story. She and I both were in marching band, both were section leaders, both played snare drum, both had a percussion section that did not listen. But the difference with her and I was that I had to learn to lead by example, and she eventually just it moved away from her percussion story into the problems that she was having. But I definitely feel like marching band shaped who I am today. I drum literally on everything, and I this dream of creating a blind marching band. It's something that I am very passionate about and something that I want to do hopefully after I get my master's degree, but even doing so, that would be pretty nice too. So then, years later, after dealing with some college hassles and graduating high school, I decided that I wanted to start reading more, so I picked up the 50 Shades trilogy. That prompted me to read more BDSM collections, and that's how the start of my journey with BDSM erotica begins. So my first book was When You Feel It, an erotic compilation. It is 6 stories, all based off of the BDSM, different BDSM dynamics and different feelings and emotions that can come with having a BDSM scene. And my first few books, or actually my first book, I should say, did not have any blind characters in it because, it was my first book and I just wanted to try it out, see how things went. I decided one day that I wanted to write BDSM erotic romance. I wanted to try my hand at the romance part, but also keeping that erotica in there as well. And so, Blindly in Love is the first book in the Red Layer series. And the Red Layer series is based off of a fictional BDSM club in Columbus, Ohio, which is where I currently reside. The Red Layer series, like I said, is based off of that club, and it focuses on characters who are either blind, one or both characters who are blind, and it shows them going through their transformations either as a person or as someone who is wanting to explore BDSM. Now, Blindly in Love is the first book in the series, and each book has the word blind in the title. So let's do this here. First book is Blindly in Love. Second book is Blind and Bound. Third book is Blind and Free. And I thought I was done after Blind and Free. I really thought I was. But a really good friend of mine was like, hey, don't stop here, write more. So here we are with Blind and Broken. And I like that because it sticks with the title. With the blind theme, I'm sorry. But it also portrays, that there are blind characters in this book who are either dealing with something that involves their blindness within the book, or it's just to show that these characters are blind. Here's what they're going through. Follow their story. I'm going to check comments really quick, and then we'll talk about my process here. And then questions, we can do questions. And like I said, if you guys want to share this video, I am all for it. So, as far as my writing process, I usually have an idea in my head. So, let's take the last book, Blind and Broken, for example, because it's fresh and new. With Blind and Broken, I actually... after my friend said, hey, there needs to be another book in this series. You cannot end this series. And I was like, okay. So I started thinking, who could I write about next? and which character could be blind in this story, because blindness is important to me, and so I want it to be important to the readers, and I want them to feel, all right, these characters are blind, they're going through this, what they're going through is relatable, I just want them to feel this. So I knew that there were a few people from the last few books that have not had stories yet. And I knew with Blind and Broken that I wanted to choose someone who was going to kind of make the story pop, but also there was going to be some intense moments within the book. Not giving anything away here, just saying. So one of the girls, or the main character in Blind and Bound, has two best friends, and I wanted one of her best friends to be a part of Blind and Broken. So that's where it all started, with her. And then in Blind and Free, there are mentions of, not even mentions, there's the topic of alcoholism. And alcoholism is a very serious thing. And my last two books have been very in depth with the use of alcohol, alcoholism, violence. And I kind of wanted that again in the next book. Kind of to stick with the theme, but also because it is very serious. And I just wanted something to just kind of make the reader feel something. Alcoholism is relatable for some people. Some people have dealt with it. Some people know people who have dealt with it. And I like the theme, and I like writing about issues, hard issues like that. And violence as well. Violence is common in places, and especially as far as alcoholism goes, it is common as well. So having that theme, having the blindness theme, I knew that I wanted to make my dominant male character blind, but I also wanted to throw the alcoholism theme in there, and so I made my dominant male character an alcoholic who was also blind. So I had this plot in my mind. I wrote out my characters, their sheet, character sheet, everything about them. And then I would write like I think it's like the snowflake method, but I didn't do that this time. What I did was I walked around my apartment, and this may sound a little crazy, and but I walked around my apartment and I talked to myself about my characters, and I said, all right, what do I want to name this character? Why is he drinking the way he is? What's going to happen at the end of the story? And that, I feel like, really got me into the storyline, the plot line. I had so much that I wanted to write about, so many ideas flowing through my head, that when I started writing, which, by the way, the ending of this book, or a good chunk of the ending of this book, was written at a laundromat. I was sitting at that laundromat for close to 3 hours waiting on a sighted person to come and help me with my laundry. And I got so much of Blind and Broken written that by the time I got home, I didn't want to stop writing because we were close to the end. And I set a deadline for myself, or a word count for myself. And my word count was 40K, and I think I hit that word count. So this book took me, I want to say, 2 weeks to write, and it was all because of me walking around my apartment, having conversations with myself about my characters and what's currently happening in the book. And I feel like it really helped. It really helped me to have that inner dialogue with myself and say, okay, this is what Tiberius is going through right now. Okay, this is what Carly is going through right now. So yes, that's sort of the process. And then once the book is finished, I run through it with my editor. We run through it a couple times. And then, and I mean, if you guys want to know more about the editing process, formatting process, that will be probably in another live video. But this is the first time I've ever done a live video talking about myself as a blind author, talking about what I can do or what I've done. And, you know, as I mentioned before, I don't mind if you guys share this video because I want people to know who I am, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how I'm not making excuses as to why I can't write a book because I'm blind. No. And writing is my passion, just like drumming. So, yeah. But I run through the books with my editors, and then I try to get the cover together before or after the book is finished. So right now I'm currently in the waiting stages for my cover for Blind and Broken. And and then I send it off to my formatter, who is a really good friend of mine, and I love her. She is really awesome. Rosie, if you're watching this, I love you so much. But yes. So once the book is complete, we put everything together, and then I go over to KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing's website, and I upload my book. I use a screen reader called JAWS on my computer, Java Access with Speech. It works really well. It's a screen reader, so it literally reads everything that my computer, I don't use the mouse for my computer. I use keyboard commands, or JAWS keystrokes. And I literally use my up and down, my arrow keys to navigate. So I upload the book that way, wait on all the particulars to be worked out, and then within a few days I receive an email here on this trusty old iPhone that goes ding, and then I have voiceover, which you guys may have heard while I'm navigating through the comments and such, to check that email. And when that's how I know when my books are live. And then I go to the page, or sometimes I'll just go to Google and type in my author name, Kaylani Black, and I'll find my new book and I'll just share it that way. It's easier, and then I'll bookmark it, so I'll have that. So that's a little bit about the writing process. I definitely want to know what you guys want more of as far as these live videos, because I don't tend to do lives very much. And I'm telling you, man, as a blind person, I love to do videos. I actually need to do something like this for my YouTube channel. I feel like that'd be dope. Pretty awesome, honestly. So I love doing videos. I love taking pictures, which is why my Instagram is full of me singing or pictures of food, because I am just that blind person that's like, hey, I've been blind since birth, but I also want to feel normal in a sense. I don't want to not take pictures. I love taking pictures. So, and sometimes I may need help with, certain things as far as the book covers go. Like, I'll have them create it, and then I'll take that picture from wherever it resides, either in Messenger or somewhere else. I'll take that picture and I'll save it to my phone, and that's how I'm able to upload it to Facebook or here on Instagram. So I will now be taking questions. I know you guys probably want to know, do you have a book idea in your head right now? Yes, I do. And maybe I'll talk about that in another live. But what I will say is, because I'm so passionate about blindness and disability, And I love writing about BDSM because BDSM, which we'll talk about in another video, is something that I'm passionate about, in so much that it is a very beautiful thing. And I am still learning. I have a lot to learn about BDSM, but I love what it represents. And there is some stigma surrounding that too. But there's the stigma behind blind people and disabilities. And that stigma is that blind people or people with disabilities cannot do anything, let alone have sex. That will be another live video. We will have to do that. Maybe I'll bring some cool blind folks up. We'll talk about that. I think it would be dope. But yes. So there is that stigma. And with my books, I want to be able to break it. Blind people can have sex and they can explore BDSM safely, consensually, and sanely. But if there are any questions, please drop them below, and my voiceover will read them out loud, and I will answer them all for you in this moment. But if not, I will be hoping that you guys will listen to this or watch this live. I honestly hope that you guys can see me because my phone's charging and I'm not like holding it directly out here. But I am hoping that you guys are loving this content. And I hope that when you do re-watch this video, watch the replay, you guys will ask questions. I appreciate the questions, and maybe we'll do a Q&A next live. I'm down for that. And I like to go live at random times because, sometimes I'm in pajamas and I don't feel like going live. But sometimes I'm all dressed up and I'm like, let's go live today. So, yeah. I do have audiobooks. So When You Feel It, an erotic compilation, my first book is in audio form. It's on Audible, Amazon, and iBooks. And Blindly in Love, the first book in the Red Layer series, which has been narrated by two wonderful narrators, must I say. Those are both on Amazon, Audible, and iBooks as well. My other books are on Kindle, so Amazon, and one of my books is actually on iBooks in a print version. So I have no Braille versions of my book yet, trying to make that happen. I'm sure I can do it, but one of my books is actually on Bookshare for the blind folks that know what that is. So let's keep. Yes, really ding. Because of Blind and Free, which is the third book in the Red Layer series, I definitely felt like I related more to Jaquita, which is the mistress of the Red Layer in the books. Definitely felt like I related more to her, but I write more about submissives. And so that's all I can really say on that. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I am very happy that I'm actually able to do this. I have never went live before. I think I went live one time, and one time I uploaded a video it just went to the IGTV thing, and I was like, didn't know that's how that worked. But if you guys do want me to talk about something else in my next live, I would love to kind of know what that is, because I want to be able to answer questions. I want to be able to have interesting and eye-opening and deep conversations with my followers. But as I've mentioned before, I also want to gain more readers, gain more people who want to know more about the blind, about BDSM. And yeah, I'm just very happy to supply some knowledge, some information, help out as much as I can. But I also love to have fun as well. Maybe I'll, next live, maybe I will read part of Blind and Broken. I think that'll be kind of nice for you guys. But it's all about what you guys want, because you guys are my followers / readers, and I definitely want to be able to give you what you want and need. I'll check for a few more comments, and then somehow I'm going to end this video. Don't know how. So I don't think I'm switch. Not at all, actually. I definitely feel like I have been able to relate more to a dominant side. And so, yeah. Now, how do I end this video? Do I hit this button? Or do I hit this button? Okay, it's not there. Guys, I had so much fun here with you guys today. Bye. I can't figure out how to end the video. I don't know. How do I end? Oh, I don't like that. I don't want that anymore. Okay.
Are you sure you want to